Welcome back, Emory County. I apologize. I know I'm not as pretty as Tennille, but I will be able to get through these interviews, I promise. Here with Kelly Graesch this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Cam.
You're here with the Resource Connection. Tell us about the Resource Connection.
Well, the Resource Connection's been around for about 31 years. We're a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to engage families, empower communities, and enrich lives.
Great.
So we provide a variety of different programs. I'm a program director for the Child Care Resource Referral Programs.
Okay. And we're here to talk about that as the Child Care Subsidy Program.
Right.
And tell us about that.
So our child care subsidy programs are funded mostly by the California Department of Education, with some funding from our local health and human services organizations. And the subsidy programs help parents to be able to afford child care. They have to be income eligible and meet some needs. But child care is so expensive. You know, child care for an infant is about $11,000 a year in Amador County in a child care center, and then $9,000 to $8,000 to $9,000 in a family child care home. So even a mid-income family would have difficulties affording that.
And you had a statistic you were sharing with me off camera about the cost of just housing and child care is...
So if you were a minimum wage earner and you were paying for housing and child care in Amador County, it would take 129% of your income. So just for housing and child care alone. So there's no money left over for food, for clothing, for transportation, and so it becomes an economic, you know, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, the numbers. Yeah, the numbers aren't matching up here. So, if somebody, do you have to qualify for this subsidy program? How does that work?
You do. You have to qualify for the subsidy program. Now, it's a very generous program. So, it's 70% of a state median income. Used to be higher, but with budget cuts, it's lowered over the years. But even with that, a family of 3 could make up to $42,000 and still qualify for the program. Now, when we enroll the lowest families first, so it's based on incomes, and the family sizes is how we enroll.
Right. And when you come onto a program like this, are you able to choose who your child care provider is, or does the Resource Connection choose?
So in this program, in the child care subsidy programs, is what we call a parental choice program. So yes, the parents get to choose. We have trained counselors that will help parents understand what the components of quality child care are, because we want them to, you know, to choose what best fits their family. But they could choose a family, a friend, or a neighbor. Now, everybody but a grandparent, aunt, or uncle has to pass a background check in what we would call an exempt provider.
Okay.
Or there are licensed family child care providers, licensed child care centers, or we can also work with families that might prefer like a Head Start or a state preschool. Maybe their kids are going to go there early, you know, in half a day, and then we can try to find them child care for the second half of the day. So
perfect.
There's a lot of different variations. Parents tend to choose what is most flexible and meets their needs.
Sure. What a great program. Important for kids to, I know my son went to preschool at a young age, and it really helped him accelerate through school in every grade level.
Right. Yes, preschool, we're finding that kids who go to preschool have opportunities to be more successful in life. That social interaction, social development, preparing for school. We're always preparing for the next stage in life, so that's very, very important.
If is there a need for child care providers?
Absolutely. There are never enough child care providers, especially for infants. And so parents who have infants, oftentimes that's where we see the family, friend, and neighbor care come into play a whole lot, because you can, as a family child care provider, you can watch up to 4 infants. Okay. But if you have older kids and that number starts to come down, understandably so. Could you imagine having 4 crying babies all at one time? It gets a little bit tricky.
Right.
And so, as those ratios come down, then we lose that capacity. And so there's always a need for infant care, especially quality infant care.
Okay. And is there courses, or what do you have to do to qualify to be a provider?
Well, we are not the regulatory agency. That's actually done through the California Department of Social Services. They do the licensing, but we're the TA organization in the county, and so we help people understand what it takes to get licensed, and then we provide the 15 hours of health and safety training, as well as ongoing training for as long as they're a provider.
Great, great. So if somebody would like to get some more information, how can they contact the Resource Connection?
Well, they should call 209-223-1624, or they can go to our website, which is www.trcac.org.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Resource Connection. What a good name. That really puts it all together in
Doesn't
2
it, though?
words, right?
It's just wonderful, yes, yeah.
The connection to your resources.
That's right, yes. We try to be there for families, and we have a lot of other programs, too.
Okay.
We have a WIC program here in Amador County.
Which is women, infants, and children?
Right, and
Okay.
so that provides nutrition vouchers, nutrition education for families. That one is an income-based program. In Calaveras County, we also have the WIC and the Child Care Resource and Referral Programs, as well as a crisis center, a food bank, and a thrift store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thrift store accepts donations, I would imagine?
It does, and the proceeds from the thrift store go to support the crisis center. So that goes to support, education and prevention programs in the community, as well as domestic violence and sexual assault victims.
Okay, and where's the location of that thrift store?
That thrift store is on Highway 49 in San Andreas.
I believe I've seen it, right. Kind of on
Yeah,
the right as you're
that's
headed,
right, yeah.
headed through town.
Heading out.
Perfect, perfect. So we're speaking with Kelly Graesch here this morning, the Resource Connection, all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Great. Let's give out the website and the phone number one more time.
Okay, the website is www.trcac.org, and the phone number is 209-223-1624.
Great.
But one last program I would like to mention is we have a grandparent respite project that is funded with Behavioral Health Proposition 63 funds, and that program also pays for up to 16 hours of respite child care for grandparents who are raising their grandchildren. Sometimes in today's world, we find ourselves in circumstances that we hadn't expected. We might be raising our grandchildren, not
Sure.
something we planned to do. And so what this program offers is 16 hours a month so that those grandparents can tend to their needs and maybe just go shopping by themselves,
Right.
if they're raising their grandchildren.
Great.
So that's another really great program we have.
Sounds like a lot of stuff going on. Kelly, thanks for coming in and informing us.
Okay, thank you, Kim.
We're going to switch it over. I'm going to speak with Chad Lewis from the Jackson Rancheria.
Check out our new website upgrade. Now, news on demand. Streaming video, a TV set on your desktop. Friendly program guide, and meet the people making the news with our on-demand news interviews. Let us know what you think. It's where you live. It's tspntv.com.